Oh, do you know what I should have mentioned? In fact, no, why would I mention that in the intro? I've bought some orthopedic trainers, because of my foot.
Oh right.
They're like walking on a bloody cloud.
So you're now at a stage where you need special footwear. Is that what we're talking?
I'm not 38 though, am I?
You're not
So
38, but your body apparently is.
my body's 48, mate. Greetings, EastEnders fans. Welcome to this week's Albert Square After Dark, your weekly EastEnders podcast, where this week we'll be discussing the episodes that aired between the 15th to the 18th of September 2025. How are you all? Hope you're good. Joining me today is the wonderful Robert. Hello, Rob. How are you this week?
Hello, Rihanna. How are you this week? Are you well? I'm all right. Constant
Yeah, I'm all
grumble.
right. Do you know what? Saying that
What?
intro, I
Yeah,
can't believe that it's September 2025
I know.
already.
I know. Be
It
quite a Christmas
literally
present
feels
soon.
like, well, this is what I'm thinking. It feels about 2 weeks ago that we were theorising about the six and
Yeah,
2023 EastEnders, doesn't
time.
it?
I tell you what, it's my birthday before much longer has gone. My next birthday is next month, so I've got that to
Oh,
look
yeah.
forward to first, and then it'll be
Look
the run up to
forward to,
Christmas.
do you
No,
look forward to him after you
not
get a
anymore.
certain age?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's still a day that's all about me, so I don't mind that. But
True that.
but just ignoring the number, I think I'll be doing from this. I think I'm now reaching an age where I'm going to start lying about my age, because when
Are you
people ask me how,
actually?
yeah, well, when people
Don't
start
think you
asking
can
me
get
how
away
old I
with it,
am,
Rob. Can't get
I
away
think,
with it, mate.
why not? Why not? Why did you say that, Ree? Why did you say that I can't get away with lying about my age? Go on, go on,
I-
go on,
I'll
go
let
on.
you
What do you
ponder
mean?
it.
What
I'll
do you
let you
mean? No,
ponder
what do
it,
you mean?
mate.
Go on, tell me what you meant. Go on, tell me what
Say
you
what
meant.
you really
Tell me what
mean.
you meant. Rude.
Are you doing
Um,
anything for it? Have you got anything planned?
Yes, I'm going to London, and
Is it?
I'm going to be going to a Michelin star restaurant. I'll have you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I am.
Oh, which one?
Yes, I don't know. It's an
Holland Street
Italian.
Social.
I've no idea. It's an
Oh, no,
Italian.
that's
I don't know. I've just been taken there for an amazing meal, so I'm very excited about that. But that's
mm,
next month. Should we talk about this week? Oh, actually, no. First of all, let's talk about next week, people. While I've got your attention, if I still have. Next week, little bit of a late upload. Next week, I'm going to Newcastle next week for just a few
Is that
days.
why you're wearing black and white stripes today?
I
Football
don't.
team.
Ray, come on, as if I know
I'm
that.
glad I explained. I did say football team
Yeah.
immediately after because I knew you wouldn't know that.
But
Anyway.
anyway, I am going to Newcastle, so we will be uploading a little bit later next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully, still within the Saturday, but it'll probably be Saturday evening as opposed to Saturday
Yeah.
morning. All right, sorry about that, but life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? On to this week's EastEnders. One of those mad old weeks where the stories are a bit tricky to sort of like kind of put together. There was a lot of little bits, and then the sort of bigger storylines wasn't there. So we'll see how it all formats this week. But quite a lot went on, didn't it?
Yeah, it did actually. I feel quite happy with how some of it went though, I'll be honest
Yeah,
actually. Yeah.
satisfying conclusion to some of it, I
Yeah, I
think.
actually think it. Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with how it worked out. I like it when it feels neat, but
Yeah,
like logical,
yeah,
which it
yeah,
does feel like it
yeah,
was. Yeah,
yeah. It's
I'm happy
interesting
with it
when
anyway.
the ending of a certain storyline is the most logical part of it in some
Yeah,
ways.
yeah, very true. Yeah,
There is
yeah.
that. But anyway, so let's crack on with this week's Albert Square After Dark. Right, let's throw around these little stories that were kind of kicking off at the start of the week first before we get into the meatier parts of the EastEnders sandwich. First of all, Johnny and Callum, they've decided to go out and proud, basically, haven't they? So I feel
hmm
like in the coming weeks, there's no indication in sort of future spoilers when this funeral is happening or when Ben's return is. So I don't know if it's coming up in the next couple of weeks or whether it's after that. I feel like they'd want to sort of shout about it for Ben's return, wouldn't they? So,
It's you'd think it. Well, I feel like they have shouted about it though. Like
oh
I
yeah, but
saw
in
an
terms
article
of
the other
like,
day again. I
yeah, this
mean,
is what I mean in terms of like,
announcing the actual
yeah,
date of when the
yeah,
episode will be.
yeah.
I feel like it's got to be in the next couple of weeks, though, because funerals don't take that long,
No, not for somebody who
right?
apparently was on his last legs like Jono. Like he doesn't need like a post-mortem or anything, does he?
We've not even got a funeral director anymore, have we?
No, we haven't.
On Albert
No,
Square.
no, we
I was just
haven't.
thinking Jay could have taken care of it, but
No
we
more.
had that dropped in, didn't we, this
Yes,
week?
Jay's gone to visit his sick granddad Bert.
Grandad.
So
And that's it, I think.
that'll be the end of Jay. Yeah, he will be staying with
Mm,
his granddad Bert for the foreseeable, I suspect.
yeah,
So yeah, that was really all that was really mentioned about Johnny and Callum this
yeah.
week. That they've sort of decided that they're ready to kind of come out with their relationship. But Callum, I feel like he's going to be slightly hesitant with this when he realises the implications behind what he's actually doing.
Well, does he not need, like, isn't your first priority, like, maybe giving Ben a little call?
Yeah, so it's like I need to get divorced before anything else really
Yeah,
happens. Yeah, so that's going to
yeah.
get messy, I suspect. Very, 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 very
And
messy.
Lexi, of course. Like, what's going to
Yes.
happen to Lexi? What is going to happen to
What is going
Lexi,
to
though?
happen to
Jay's
Lexi?
gone.
Yeah,
If Callum splits with Ben,
yeah. Because if
I
Ben's
mean, I
not hanging
think,
around to start off with,
yeah.
it's going to get
And I feel
messy.
like, but I feel like Callum would be quite happy to keep looking after Lexi, in fairness. But I don't know that
I
Lexi would be that happy with staying with Callum.
I
But
feel like Phil's going to step in again. So, all right, as we were
reckon,
then, shall I? Well, where I continue to try and take custody of Lexi. We'll carry on back where there again,
or
shall
are they
we?
going to write Lexi out that she goes to stay with Jay for a bit or something? Maybe.
Who knows? We shall see.
Hmm.
The other kind of little thing that kind of kicked off this week was Kim returning to driving. She's got a new car.
Yes.
Do you realise why this is significant, Ree? This Kim
No,
driving
please
thing?
tell me, because I was wondering.
Because do you not remember what we were discussing in the very first episode of Albert Square After Dark? Of
Yeah,
course you
Kim
don't.
crashing. Kim
Yeah.
crashing. Yeah, I do remember
Yes,
Kim
that was
crashes
our
the
first
socials.
episode.
Kim crashes the
Yes,
socials. See, I even remembered the
yes,
title. There
that
we
was our
go.
first ever episode,
It
millions of
was.
years ago.
Yes. Feels
Ah,
like it.
we were young, we were optimistic.
We were very young.
Yeah, well, I was youngish. So yeah, she's got a new car. Howie's sort of bought
Yes.
the. Now, was he bought this with Patrick's money? He has,
This
hasn't
is what
he?
I'm so. Oh, of course. Yeah, he
Yeah,
must have. I was
he has, hasn't
wondering
he?
this. Yeah,
Yeah. So that
because
money's
then
gone now.
when somebody asked him, they said, "Oh, he said, oh, I got a bonus or something."
Yeah.
It's like, how? Oh, you
How
get
much?
good bonuses,
I
don't you, being
know.
a post day?
Royal
Wow.
Mail. Oh, you buy a car with that
Yeah.
bonus. Yes, yes. So that money's gone
Mm.
now then. So that's going to be fun for him when it all comes out, isn't it? Kim's going to have to sell her
Isn't it
car.
just?
Yes,
Yeah.
not good. Not good at all. And then the only other real thing before we get to the meteor stuff was it's Louis' birthday. He's got
Yes.
some VR headset arriving, which doesn't arrive because
Or
Royal
not
Mail,
arriving.
or not
Mm.
arriving. Didn't even go to the little Amazon lockup that's in the laundrette. It
Well,
didn't arrive on time at all.
my first thought was, oh, is Howie taking it? That's what I actually first
Sold that as
thought.
well.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that'll
I'll
that'll
have
go
that.
towards car fund.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And really, the kind of main takeaway from this, I think, is that Cindy seems to be plotting something, doesn't she?
Yeah, she just wants out of her B&B and she wants to move in
Well,
with those guys, doesn't
we
she?
discovered where Cindy's been living for the past, like, however long she's been back. It was in a grotty B&B, apparently listening to somebody hack his guts up next door.
Yeah, cough lung up every night.
Yeah, nice,
Lovely. Don't
nice.
blame her. Don't blame her
No,
for trying to
that's why she
wheedle
didn't do
away
it
in there,
sooner.
to be honest, yeah. And
Yeah,
in fairness, I mean, I know I'm a Cindy stan
yes,
always, but it does make sense. Like, they're
it
saying they need
does.
some childcare and she can be there and she can help out. I mean,
Yeah,
whether Cindy and Lauren are actually going to get, do you think Lauren's going to agree?
no, why would
I
she?
feel, but I
It's a
feel
terrible
like,
idea.
but I feel like she is in a way. I feel like essentially she is going to agree because I feel like
But
that
she
is
hasn't got
where
a lot of
Cindy's going to
choice.
end up living.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she hasn't got a lot of choice though, really, has she? Because
No.
everything that's going on with childcare and the fact that Jimmy's slightly harder to look
Mm.
after than your average baby, they're gonna need all this extra help. So it's a case of Lauren's just gonna have to put all her personal feelings aside. Cindy, I enjoyed going, oh, it'll be fine. Me and Lauren are adults. We'll get on absolutely
Yeah, we'll get on with
fine.
it. Well, to be
Yeah,
fair, Cindy Cindy is quite good at, just being
pretending.
snide instead of
Yeah,
enemies. Yeah.
yeah. She's very good at passive aggression, and she's very good at
Mm.
just pretending that she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So Lauren, you're being entirely unreasonable about this. So
As well,
we'll
though,
see.
do you remember though when Lauren gave birth to Jimmy, Cindy were there, weren't she? So maybe they can kind of bond over that
Yeah,
again. I don't know.
maybe. I
Yeah.
can't see them getting on that well for very much longer, though.
No.
We'll see. Right, let's kick off with the main stuff that was happening this week in Walford, and we'll start off with talking about George, Harry, and Kojo. Right then, so George, Kojo, and Harry. George has gone off to do this commentating thing, which we forgot to mention a couple of weeks back. Phil had a phone call from a mate of his. This sounds like quite a cool position for an Xboxer. I quite like the sound of this. If I was in boxing, I'd want to do this.
Yeah, it's a brilliant gig, isn't it? And you
It
don't have to
really is.
fight, which obviously you can't do anymore. So
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good to me. So he's gone off to do that, which is a good job, really, for Okie, really, because that escalates quite a little bit this week. They've now actually started using Kojo for these deliveries. The inclination I thought was that it's not Kojo's first time he's done this, but it's the first time we've seen him do it. Is that right?
Oh
Would you
no, I
say?
thought it was the first time they've made him do it.
Oh, I got the impression that they'd done it with him before, and
Harry did it with him before. If you remember the
maybe, yeah.
first time Harry had to go because we had a tube scene and they were both sat on the
Yes.
tube. Do you remember? And
It's
Harry
hard.
went with
Well,
him.
there's been so many tube
Or
scenes, it's
Kojo went
difficult
with
to remember
Harry.
them all.
Yeah, I know. I love them though. I'm
I
here
love
for
the
it.
tube scene. The tube carriage is fantastic. I love it. And I love the fact that every single time we see it, there's a new addition to it. Like they've only
Yeah,
recently added like the speeding background behind the carriages and all that kind of thing. It's genius. I love it. It's
I love
brilliant.
it. I'm here for
Yeah.
it.
Every day. Bring
But
in the tube carriage in every episode. It's not an episode of EastEnders until we see the tube carriage set, let me tell
I
you.
agree.
Mm,
Perfect. But I feel no, I don't feel like it's. I don't feel like he's done it before. I feel like this is his
okay.
first time. What's the name for it? There's a name for it. Is
Cuckooing.
it cross? Hmm? No,
Cuckooing.
not that one. About like crossing. Is it crossing country lines or
I have no
something
idea.
like
I don't
that?
do this sort of thing, or I
Yeah,
wouldn't know.
or crossing border lines or country lines. Because there's a thing in it, like where there were people targeting like young children to do it as well, because
Oh
obviously you wouldn't
yes,
suspect
yes.
them, and it's called something like crossing country, like something like that.
That was sort of where the Tiffany storyline went a few years back, wasn't it? Like getting the young
Yeah,
people involved in it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So basically this week, George is like really suspicious of everything that's going on in the flat,
hmm
with for good reason, because Okie obviously has made them change the lock so that George can't just walk in and out whenever he feels like
hmm
it. Um, and so when George discovers this, he's furious. He's trying to confront Okie about what's going on, and Okie's just sort of slammed the door and he's like stood there giggling behind the door, going, he can't get in. um, and then he confronts Harry about the situation and is sort of demanding a new key for like as soon as possible, isn't he? And
yeah.
half of me was sort of like, why do you think you deserve a key? But then it's like he did buy half the flat, didn't he? So he's sort of part landlord, basically, isn't he?
No, I think they're renting it, but it's in George's name because
Yeah.
Kojo can't get one in his name. I don't think so. It's in
Mm,
George's name, so he's got every right to go in and out at flat. To be fair,
yeah. Harry and Gina are sort of they're looking good together, but Gina, I think their relationship feels like it's kind of doomed when this all comes out, doesn't it?
yeah, 100%. If only
Yeah,
she knew the truth, isn't it? One
mm,
of those, which she'll
exactly.
go. And I mean,
Yes.
and Harry's still doing the drugs as well, which I don't think she'd be happy
Yeah,
about if she knew that.
this is kind of like going on in the background, isn't it? That Harry is just
Yeah,
sort of like every so often we'll see Harry clearly off his
mm,
tits or just about
yeah,
to take a line of something, and it's sort of like I mean, I kind of like I don't mind the sort of almost casual nature that they're sort of
yeah,
addressing this in because actually it's kind of quite natural. Like if you're in
yeah,
that mindset and you're doing that sort of thing, it is that
yeah,
simple, isn't it? You're just
mm,
doing drugs and you're almost like a functioning addict, which seems to
yeah.
be where they're going with Harry at the moment, really.
I was wondering that. Do you think that's the route they're taking, or do you think it's going to be like relevant to something down the line? Like, is he going to
Well,
go a bit,
it's not like the sort of thing that they can show oh you've had a long day at work, you come home and pour yourself a glass of wine like some of the women do. Like
yeah,
there needs to be sort of like a message behind the fact that Harry is
mm,
just casually taking all these drugs. And it sort of also makes me wonder, like, is he taking it out of the supplies that he's being given,
yeah.
because that's
This
going to get
is
him into trouble as well.
this is what I'm wondering. Is it going to be that, or is it that he's going to end up like turning angry on them one day
Mm,
and like really laying into someone, or is he going to have a dodgy
Oakley deserves
batch
it. Yeah, maybe.
and maybe he'll
Maybe.
end up in hospital and then everyone will end up finding out through that somehow?
Well, what's also going on is that Nicola, I think, is about 5 seconds away from getting involved with this as well. She's kind of basically fully aware of what's going on.
Mm,
She knows that Ravi's sort of like the head sort of person
mm,
behind it all. So I feel like she's going to start throwing her weight around with Ravi quite soon. Because she said to Harry, I'm not scared of him. I'll get involved quite happily." And it's literally only Harry saying, "Look, no, I've got all this under control. You don't need to get involved. Leave it all alone." That is stopping her from going in like a bull in a china shop, isn't it?
I mean, I was thinking this. Why isn't she just going in like a bull in a china shop? Like,
To be
when she can
fair, I
see
feel
what's
like,
happening.
yeah, and I feel like Nicola is the sort of person that wouldn't need permission. I think the only reason that she's
Yeah.
doing it is because she's trying to sort of mend the relationship between her and
Mm.
Harry, and her going in without his sort of say so is only going to sort of fracture their relationship more, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that. But then I've also figured that he didn't tell her that they were planning on attacking George. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
feel like she would have just stepped in. But then again, why isn't she stepped in when it's like affecting Kojo so much?
Well, it is affecting Kojo big time because when he goes to do this delivery, the arrangement apparently is that Okie will kind of bring him back to the square once he's got the money. But it seems that what actually happened was Okie sort of got the money and then just left Kojo to his own devices, which seems outrageous.
Yeah, doesn't it just? So they made Kojo go all the way to Luton to do a
Yeah.
drop off because obviously you'd figure that nobody'd suspect Kojo of carrying drugs. I'm
Mm.
assuming that's the logic behind it all and
Yeah.
getting him involved.
Yeah.
And then left him, yeah, and then ditched
Mm.
him when he can't find his way back on his own. That's like so. I hate Okie. He's
I
horrible,
don't,
isn't he?
yeah, he's not a nice bloke really. He really really
Mm.
isn't. And I am sort of quite enjoying and intrigued by the slowly but escalating sort of tension between him and Harry. Like that's going to
Mm.
explode at some point, isn't it? Like I feel like you're right. At some point, Harry's just going to go absolutely ape at Okie and just kind of like knock him out or beat him up or something. Like something bad and violent is going to happen to Okie, and it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Well, do you know what? Arguably, it needs to, but then again, I guess Oki knows people higher up. Go to HR, and then they'll start going
Yeah,
in on Harry afterwards
yeah,
if they find
exactly. They need
out.
to talk to he needs to talk to upper management
Mm.
about Oki. I mean, there's a very strange scene this week when Ravi is sort of cooking for both
Yeah, make some
Harry.
tea.
Yeah, like
Bottle of
just
red
took him.
wine,
Yeah, brought him round
garlic
for dinner.
bread, bottle of
Yeah,
red.
yeah, it was very odd. It's just sort of like is this what goes on behind the scenes of these gangs? Like the boss will just have you around for dinner at some point.
I did wonder that, and I thought, is it just that they were kind of like, he were kind of trying to be like, you're my boys kind of thing, come and have some dinner, I trust you guys, let
I
me into
mean,
my family home. I didn't get it either, it
if
seemed
I was
odd.
Oki in that situation, bearing in mind that Ravi once absolutely kicked the crap out of me at one point, I don't think I'd
Yeah,
go around his house for dinner. I'd want
I
to
know,
sort of
but I
be as
think
far away from him as
maybe,
possible.
no, maybe in those circles that's the norm. Ravi's
Maybe.
still his line manager, don't forget, Rob,
That is true,
right?
yeah, that is true.
So he's still got to work with him somehow.
Oki is merely section leader, I believe. So
Hmm.
well, I don't know.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see how that all goes. But yeah, because there is a thing for a while that they're going to do something about George, but Harry
Yeah.
sort of manipulates the situation and gets Gina to sort of push him towards the commentary stuff. So George is currently sort of out the way. Meanwhile, Kojo, when he finally returns to the square because he finds a payphone and Harry and Nicola go
Yeah.
to collect him, oh bless him, it's heartbreaking. Like he falls out with Harry because he's sort in his mind, it's sort of like, how could you let this happen to me? You promised me I'd be okay. And in Kojo's mind, it's as simple as you said this would all be fine. It wasn't fine, so you lied to me.
Hmm. Well,
Which
it
is
is that though, because we had that scene, didn't we, where Harry were talking to Kojo. Obviously, he didn't want him to do it, but then Urki's threatened Kojo, but
mm,
Kojo doesn't know this, so Harry's
no,
had to go in and be like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. Don't worry, you're doing everyone a favor," and like tries to make it a positive,
yeah.
puts a positive spin on it. But obviously, then
I mean,
Kojo finds out that it wasn't a positive thing.
something's got to give with this storyline soon, haven't they?
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
everything's sort of like very sort of delicately balanced, as in like something is gonna be found out at any second, or something bad's gonna happen
Yeah,
at any second. Like it's not
it's
like anybody's being particularly careful about what's going on.
it's getting painful to me that Harry's not doing more.
Yeah,
Like I know they keep threatening Kojo and things like that, but I do feel like Harry knows enough people, like, especially with Nicola, who's there
mm,
offering to sort it out.
yeah,
I feel as though Harry has got an easy out, but obviously
yeah.
he's believing the threats against Kojo. But I feel like one word to Nicola and all the people she knows, it'd
Yeah,
all be
Nicola would
sorted
sort
out.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so why are you trying to sort it by yourself? You're not sorting anything. You're just getting in deeper and deeper
yeah,
every single day. So
yeah,
just go to your mum. I
yeah.
know, oh pride. I don't want my mum to sort my problems out,
Tough.
but she will.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Get
Let
over
her.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah,
tough. Let it
exactly.
happen. Yeah, and I do want to see Nicola sort of get into badass mode again and deal with the whole
Yeah,
situation because
same.
I think she'll be amazing and she will deal with it quite
Mm.
easily. I think. Yeah. So yeah, is that where this is going to go from here? Is Nicola's involvement like the next step of this? Now George is out the
Yeah,
way for a little
surely.
bit. They don't need to worry too much about like anything being discovered in the flat. I mean, this is the other
Gina
thing that
there.
kind of
There is Gina who
there is
could discover
Gina.
things.
Yeah, I mean, this is the other thing with this whole sort of everything that's going on in the flat. For a start, whenever we see everybody in the flat together, all the gang people are doing is like they're playing cards on the table or something like that. They're not doing anything remotely constructive. And it's sort of like if you're in that situation, would you, and you've got somebody like George, like really suspicious about what's going on, would you not be trying to find an alternative location for this to be happening?
This is what I keep thinking, to be fair. Like, you've got, instead of like, oh, let's eliminate the problem, it's like, yeah, just find somewhere
Yeah,
else now. Like, why are
and
you
that eliminates
staying?
the problem.
Yeah, because it's not like Kojo's flat isn't that close by to Albert Square and like
No,
have his own home and stuff. So
you know the rules of soap. You cannot leave the square for
that
under
is
any
very true.
circumstances.
Very, very true.
That tube carriage only takes them around the square. It doesn't leave London. It
Yeah.
just kind of goes around and around in a circle.
But by the way, also with all of this, like we were talking about, is Ravi a villain? Like, what's he doing threatening to off George anyway and being
Yeah,
like, oh, that's not my problem if he's, gonna
as if that's
die
going to
from
make
one
things
injury.
10 times better, and it's not going to make things 100 times more complicated that the police are suddenly
Yeah.
investigating the murder of George Knight.
Yeah, some parts of this are starting to feel a bit clumsy. I feel like it
Yeah,
needs
get on with
tying up
it.
now.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
the next stage of the
Mm.
storyline now, I
Yeah,
think.
I
Yeah,
think so.
100%. Right, let's move on now to the next story. Okay, on to Joel now. This, I have to say, was the highlight of the week for me. I loved everything that was involved in this. I thought it was really, really strong. All of this storyline is my favourite storyline in the show at the minute, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's. Do you know what? I've even been messaging one of my friends about it today who don't watch EastEnders and being like, "Do you know how relevant EastEnders is at the
They're
minute?
so
Doing this amazing
relevant.
incel storyline and no, but it's dark.
Mm,
What do you know? What makes it more dark is that it's real. Like it's a
yeah,
real thing that's happening at the minute.
yeah. And the thing with it is like, it's going to get darker as well.
Well, now that Ross is working nights, I
I've
feel like
tried.
Vicky's in even more danger.
I have tried to defend Ross. I really
I
have, but
know, right?
there's no helping him now. He's just useless. I get that he's tired. I mean, I work nights,
He needs
and
money though, to be fair.
I know how knackered and drained you get working nights. I understand that, but you need to be stepping up, Ross, for
But
Christ's
he's doing a
sake.
day job as well. He's doing
I
two
know.
jobs, isn't he? There. So
Yeah.
when can he step up there when
But
he's doing
then
two
the only
jobs?
reason they're in debt is because of Joel in the
I know.
first place.
This is what's infuriating me. I'm not. Do you know what? When Vicky said, she said it to Kathy or was it Kathy? She said to. She said, "I actually can't stand
Yeah, it was
him." And I know it
Kathy.
sounds
Yeah.
awful to say, but like, I do not like this kid at all. A
Yeah.
part of me will like. I wonder what it's like having a partner in her
Mm,
circumstance. If you were a stepmom and you hated the kid,
yeah.
but to be honest, I actually think like I'd have to leave.
Yeah.
I don't think I could live with someone like that. But then again, then would you feel guilty and think I didn't do enough to stop him and his views going into the world? I
Well,
don't know.
this is the thing. I think like she is trying. Like Ross isn't really
Yeah,
doing that much. Vicky is the one that's actually trying to do something about this.
yeah.
And this is where Julie comes into it. And I said last week that Julie was gonna say,
Rob's always
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Observations. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm watching it. I'm like, damn you, Rob. But yeah, you got it right.
Wasn't she great this week though? I
And you
loved
know
that
what?
scene.
Yeah, I quite liked her actually this week after seeing this.
What did I
Maybe
say?
this is what I needed with Julie to see her outside of the trio of Nigel and Phil and her.
This is what I mean when I say I think that we might be able to get away with having Julie post Nigel because
Yeah, fair.
she's got the job at the school and
Mm,
she's already sort of like being called upon to sort of deal with the children of Albert Square, which is effectively like dealing with the children of the corn in some places. So
yeah.
it's great, and I feel like she really really worked incredibly well in those scenes with Joel this week.
Yeah, she did all right, didn't she?
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
you
she's
see.
great. All right, fine. I liked her
Thank
this
you.
week.
Thank you very much. Not that it made any difference. I mean, I feel like
No.
if
Well,
Joel didn't have such a personal vendetta against Vicky, I feel like Julie's words might actually have gone into his head a little bit.
see, I thought that they actually did. Am I just being duped by him all the time? Because I
Yes.
thought she had. I thought she did have an effect, and I think she did kind of get through. But then he's just so stubborn
Mm,
that he then had to say to Vicky, like, "Don't you ever do that again, anyway." And it was kind of
mm.
like two fingers up at Vicky. But I feel like the conversation he had was genuine.
I feel like the conversation there was genuine, but then I think he overheard Vicky and Julie talking,
Afterwards, yeah.
and then realised effectively probably that it's just two women trying to control him. Which goes
Okay, yeah,
against everything that he believes in. So he's now come out
yeah,
fighting again. But the Julie and Joel scenes when he was first talking to her, I think were genuine, and I think that she was starting to get through to him a little bit. But
yeah.
the problem that Julie had at that moment is that I don't think Vicky told her everything that's been going on because I think Vicky is embarrassed by what's going on as well. Like
Yeah, true.
Julie was not going in there with the knowledge that he's sort of like he's upskirted people and that he's sexually assaulted people and that he's got all these videos online. Like all Julie, I got the impression knew was that he's got a
Yeah.
few problematic views.
Yeah, no, I think you're right actually, because maybe she did know that. You'd think she'd have a duty of care as well to
Mm,
tell the. In fact, they can't really tell it full truth because obviously Vicky paid that woman off.
yeah,
The stuff in
yeah,
Australia
exactly.
again never got. Yeah, so yeah, I think you're right. She didn't
Yeah.
really know the full extent of it.
Because I swear I said this on the pod a few weeks back that this is, I think, what Joel actually needed was a woman to sit down with him and say, right, go on then,
Mm.
explain all this to me. Like, tell me what you're thinking, and not to sort of yell at him, scream at him, physically attack
Which is
him.
Vicky's go-to in most situations. Let's be
Exactly,
honest.
you
Yeah.
know. So I feel like that's why that scene was so effective because I think it's exactly what Joel actually needed was a woman to sit down with him and just listen to what he's got to say and go, well, you realise that that doesn't actually work, yeah? And I was really impressed that Julie had listened to Drake Zagan as well. Like outside, before
Yes.
she'd even met Joel, she'd already listened to this bloke because she's a teacher and she realises that she needs to know this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
mates. Yeah, I thought that were good as well. So at least it was like it weren't like he had to educate her about Drake Zagan and be like,
Yeah,
"Well, you don't even know what he says anyway." She's like, "No, I fully know what he says. I've watched him. Don't worry.
yeah,
I understand all the points that
brilliant.
you're gonna say."
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what Do you know what I loved though about this the most? The first interaction when she walked in the house and like, "Met me a brew," and he was like,
Fair. I mean, he was quite rude to her at the start of the week, wasn't he?
"Yeah, oh yeah,
So
really rude." She'd already got his number at that point, I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The way that she sort of looked after, like, watched him after they'd had that interaction,
yeah.
was a sort of indication that these two are going to have a thing, sort of at some point in some
Hmm.
shape or form later on in the week. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. I hope Julie sort of becomes more of a part of this story in some way.
Yeah.
Like in sort of like maybe Joel sees her as the only sort of form of guidance in any way, just because he's got enough respect for her because she's at the very least like listened to Drake and sort of understands what he's saying and all that kind of thing. That might be interesting. I don't know if they can make that work or not, but I
Well,
hope that this isn't the last we see of Julie sort of having that role in a story.
it's like she said to Vicky, I'm just listening to him and debating it without making him feel stupid or make
Mm,
him feel a need to get defensive. But then he's overheard that anyway. So now will he just think that it's all disgenuine and that's it, it's broken? But I don't feel like it is yet.
mm.
Maybe there is her. I don't feel like there's any redemption there for Joel.
No, I don't think there
So
is.
I don't
And
know if anything will work.
the worrying thing, I mean, he's got zero respect for Vicky, and I feel like this is actually the
Mm,
main sort of cog in the whole thing is that him and Vicky
yeah.
have now got this unrepairable relationship. She's
Mm,
already said that she can't stand him, and I can't see that changing anytime soon. She's trying her best with him in terms of trying to support
mm.
him, but then when Ross has decided, oh, I can't be involved in any of this, you're gonna have to deal with it because I'm busy sleeping. Joel asks her for money to go to Drake Zagan's podcast
Oh
recording.
yeah, of course, yeah.
We should try this, one of these live recordings. I bet we'd have millions of people come to listen to us, right?
I know, I thought that. I'm like,
We
oh,
should.
keep talking about podcasts on
It's
EastEnders this
an
week.
idea, isn't it? It's an idea.
Yeah.
We could do it at your bar. Be great. There you
Sorted,
go.
there we go.
Sorted. There you go.
Will you
Episode
come? Let
200.
us know in comments.
Let
Are
us know
you,
if
are
you'd
you coming
come.
along?
Yeah. Episode 200. Put it in your diaries, I tell you. Um, that was interesting though because you got Kathy involved. Kathy versus the incels. Loved that. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't though. I was actually like scared for both Kathy
Oh, I
and
was
Vicky
scared
being
for
at a
them, but
place
I don't
like
believe
that.
that. I feel like Kathy was more than ready to sort of go toe to toe with all of them single handedly.
Yeah, but that's what made me scared. I'm like,
Yeah.
Kathy, you can't mess with these guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Enough.
sorry, but they will
Back
not
off.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah, like run away. I'm sorry to say that, but like keep yourself safe. I get it. You want to stand up to it, but
Yeah, I mean, look at all their merch though. That was good. That's something we should think about as well, like
what
t-shirts and
merch?
yeah,
We should.
merch,
We should
mugs.
actually.
Imagine getting a Zake Drake mug. Like, do you reckon that's a good seller for people in like that? Like, I have problematic views mug. That would be
Yeah,
interesting.
but
Yeah.
depending on what it says, because what did one of the t-shirts say?
Oh, like this is what a real man looks like.
Yeah, people would love that, wouldn't they?
I should have that on a mug. So So yeah, Joel steals a
Yeah.
credit card, and him and Tommy go to this live recording in
Mm.
Birmingham, which is quite a way away.
Birmingham.
It was quite a way away from London. That's a long tube carriage
It's
ride.
not that far. It's not like it's about an
It's
hour.
quite
It's an
far.
hour and a half in it on train, Birmingham.
Well, either way, they follow him to Birmingham, and because Joel and Tommy are under 16, is it under 16 or under
Yeah,
18?
under
Either way,
16, yeah.
yeah, then
Oh no,
they
when
are.
was it?
I think
18,
it
yeah,
was in
one of
my, I
them.
can't remember, but underage basically.
Yeah.
So they're dragged out by security, which is interesting because I kind of feel that the way that these people work, and in terms of like the YouTube stuff, or wherever, whichever streaming site that he's watching this bloke on, like
Others are available.
yeah, they're looking for people Joel and Tommy's age to sort of have these messages with, aren't they? So it's
Well,
interesting that
yeah,
there's an age limit on the actual live recording of the podcast.
that's a very good point, actually. I wonder why that is.
Do
Do
we
you
need
think
to have
it's
age
maybe because
restriction
they
when we do our
swear or
live recording?
something? What, an
Should we?
age limit? Oh, I don't
Should
know.
we have an
Yeah,
age
maybe for
restriction?
swearing.
18 plus only.
You'd think, though, to be fair, that you might. Or maybe it's
Yeah,
just because it's a. No, because you can go to gigs and stuff when you're like 14 plus. So
yeah.
maybe it is something to do with the content. I don't
Maybe,
know.
yeah, I think it
Mm.
probably is. But yeah, it seems to be like a very, very scary place to go to a Drake Zagan live recording because there's very, very odd and scary men there.
Yeah, very. Who I don't think would have had any problem in getting physical with Kathy and Vicky, which is
Probably
why I'm
not.
getting scared.
Probably not.
And which is where I think this is all leading now that Ross is out of the picture with Joe and
Yeah.
Vicky. Mm.
So, I mean, it seems to me the only way that this is going to culminate is if is if Joel either tries or actually does in some way sexually assault Vicky.
Yeah, I totally think that's what's going to happen, and it'll be like, I had to put you in your place or
Yeah.
something like
Like,
that.
are
And
they going to go all the way and have him rape her or something?
I don't know. Well, possibly. I mean, this is it. Would Vicky fight a way out of it? But it depends the context. Doesn't always happen, does it? As we know what happened with Linda, like fight or
Mm.
flight kicks in. Sometimes,
Yeah, I know, but it's
the
sort of
freeze
like,
situation. A bit like Yolandi.
yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like it's just got that horrible tone to it that it's sort of
Yes.
like it feels like the only way it's going to go, and we're going to have one very, very dark episode coming up soon with the Joel storyline. They have said that the Joel story does get a lot darker very, very soon,
Yeah,
so
definitely
it
then.
feels like that's the only. And we've said for quite a while now with Joel, it feels
Mm.
like he's gonna rape somebody because that's where his head's at.
Definitely. Do you think Vicky would report it if it happened then? Like, would she tell Ross? Because he threatened her physically the other week and it doesn't
Yeah,
seem like she's told him because he wouldn't be
no.
leaving her in house surely with him
No,
if
this
she's
is what I
told him
mean.
about
Like,
that.
there's only so much that you can like. This is the problem with Ross, really, at the minute. Like, it's sort of
Mm.
like, like how much is Vicky? Well, how much importance is Vicky putting on what Joel is saying to in comparison to them earning enough money to pay Sharon back? I
Yeah,
feel like
very
that's the
true.
main thing that's stopping Vicky from really getting Ross as involved as he should be. But then at the same
Yeah.
time, she's also turning around to Ross and saying, like, this is your responsibility. Like, you're his dad. You should have fixed this 10 times sooner. So
And then we saw that little clip as well of Ross when he was telling Joel, like, look, this is the deal. I'm going to be working nights. And Joel's like, yeah. And they were like, look, I need you to man up. And it was like, oh, I'm
oh, man
listening. I
up.
need to man
Oh,
up.
man up. Yeah, okay. So Vicky needs
I'm
controlling.
there.
Yeah,
I'm
fine.
there,
Yeah,
Dad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. It's very, 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 very bad.
Mm,
But yeah, who knows where this is going to end up, but we'll see. But by far the highlight of the thing was the Julie and Joel scenes, I thought. Brilliant stuff. Really, really good.
yeah. Okay, they were. I agree.
Right, final story this week is talking about Zoe, the Slaters, and the fact that the baby secret is out. Okay, biggest real news story of the week was the Slater stuff. So Zoe has been released from hospital and she's still kind of utterly convinced that someone's going to gun her down. I mean, I know she's been told from everybody that it has nothing to do with anybody else and she was just caught in random gunfire. But I feel like, if you're Zoe, bearing in mind what happened, I feel like it's understandable that she's really, really paranoid, right?
Yeah, even if you did believe it were a random gang, I'd still be like terrified, to be fair.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? Last thing I'd be doing is staying on Albert Square if I'd just been shot there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
well, if that was the case, nobody would live it. Nobody would ever
yeah,
return to
yeah,
the
we
square,
say
would they?
this. Yeah,
We
that's
say this
true.
all the time. No one would go
Yeah,
in the pub. No one
yeah,
would go to the
yeah.
square. The
Let
whole
alone
place
buy
would be
it.
condemned. Wouldn't be buying any property there. There'd be
No.
really bad TripAdvisor reviews at Walford all over the
Mm.
place. You just wouldn't go there.
It's cursed. Don't go
It is
there.
cursed.
Yeah.
It's wrong. That's what it is. It's wrong. Um, so she does return to the square and she's back in the Slater house, which felt quite significant. Like Zoe being back in the house where it all sort of first happened. This week
Mm.
was the 25th anniversary of the Slaters, by the way.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, which is
lovely.
nice. Yeah.
Well,
Go on.
I were actually going to say I've actually been enjoying that Wadey's era is very Slater like focused.
Yeah,
I'm
I
actually
mean,
enjoying it.
I feel like, I don't know if I said this last week or not. I feel like, the speed in which they got the Slaters in the Vic was very
Yeah,
much so that by September, the sort of the month that sort of people come back to the show in the run
yeah,
up to Christmas, was that the Slaters could be sort of steady and
yeah,
proud in the square and busy at the center of the show. So,
yeah,
which is where they are at the minute, doesn't it? It feels like the Slaters are really sort of like the big story at the moment,
yeah.
which is fun and exciting. It is great to have Zoe back. A little scene between her and Anthony this week. Mrs. What do you think? I feel like there's a reason Anthony's back and back around all the time, isn't it?
At
And
the
Zoe,
same
of course.
time. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
come on.
Do you think
It's
he's
his
the dad? Do
kids.
you think he's the dad?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to retcon the dates. Like, obviously, I know that the dates don't add up, as somebody tried to point out. Thank you for that one. I did read it.
I mean, to be fair,
Oh,
all they need to do is say that they did it off screen. It's easily
oh, that's
fixed.
literally what I was going to say because why are they back at the same time? You know, why do the kids? Well, it makes sense that they're having chats. I feel like there's going to be a triangle between her, Anthony, and Max when he comes back. I feel like that's
Oh,
going to be a
maybe,
thing.
yeah,
Well,
maybe.
he said this week, didn't he, that he's split up from his wife? I don't feel like we knew that
Yeah,
before,
that
did
felt
we?
relevant. Yeah, that felt relevant as well, didn't it?
Mm,
Like the fact that Zoe was, you could almost see it in her eyes going, "Oh, have you now? That's interesting
yeah,
to know. Thank you very much."
exactly.
So, yeah, I feel like Zoe and Anthony are sort of going to be back together fairly soon because really, now the Patrick sort of stuff is sort of dealt with, it's sort of like, right,
Hmm.
so what is Anthony here for then? And it's like it's clearly for
Exactly.
the Zoe stuff, right?
It's
It
got to
must
be,
be.
right?
Must be.
Because as well, like, why else write it in if there's no
Yeah.
relevance to it's got to be somebody that we know, the father. It's got to be,
Yeah.
otherwise I don't really get the point, if I'm
But then
honest.
I also don't get why Zoe is keeping it so secret. It feels like there's an additional element to it as to why it's so like why would she want to kind of give the babies away in that case? Because it's not like Anthony is an unreliable father figure, is he? Like he's a
True, and
doctor,
she
he's
said
quite
bad blood.
responsible.
She said
Yeah,
the
this is
bad
what I
blood
mean.
comment.
So what does that
True.
mean? So which makes me wonder, is it Anthony? Because what would she mean by bad blood? Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, no, that is a good point. Like I said, the only reason I can think of is because she feels guilty because Kat miscarried Anthony's baby
mm,
all those years ago. And
yeah,
maybe it's something to do with that, and that she just felt really guilty that,
maybe. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, yeah, but you have got a good point. Why would she say the bad blood thing?
There's something
Was
else
Harry
going on,
still
isn't there?
alive back then? Not Harry, no,
No, Harry was Harry. Well, no, I mean, no, it's not Harry because Harry and Zoe never did anything.
that we know of. But
No,
she
they
went to
didn't.
Spain, didn't she, to
No, she
Ibiza?
she,
I
she
don't
didn't
know.
end up go. She didn't end up going to Spain
Not
because
with
that's.
him, but did she cross path? I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, why else would she say bad blood is what I'm trying to figure out.
I know what you
Unless she's
mean,
on
but
about her own blood, because she's been saying about
oh, maybe,
how she
yeah,
was an incestuous
yeah,
incestuous rape baby. She said that line, so maybe she thinks it's her own blood that's bad.
yeah, maybe
That
that's a
would
good
kind of
point.
make sense,
Yeah,
to be fair. And then maybe that's why she did it, because
yeah.
she thought, well, what chance have they got with a mum like me? Maybe that were her thinking.
Mm, mm. Many
Hmm.
questions and answers still to come, I suspect.
Yes.
But somebody who does have questions for Zoe this week is Stacey, who
Yes.
very quickly sort of starts to see that Zoe is telling a whopping great porky about something, and sort of finally
Yeah.
manages to get out of her that about what happened with Greg Donovan. Not that I think that they know that his
Darling.
Dolan, not Donovan, Dolan. Not that I think the name Dolan is going to really be that relevant because Ben Wadey has
No.
said that he believes the Redwater stuff to be from an alternative universe.
Oh yeah, parallel universe, and
Yeah,
so it didn't happen then. So she's never had a twin brother. So
maybe by the sound of things, or at the very least, the whole Redwater series never happened
yeah.
in the eyes of Walford. So why call him that of all things, though? That's what I mean. Unless it was
Do
literally
you think
just
it
the
was just
sort of
yeah,
yeah,
genuine like mistake that they made? They didn't think, oh, maybe we shouldn't call him Dolan. Oh, we're a red herring.
maybe a red herring, maybe a red herring, maybe just a sort of like acknowledgement of it rather than
Mm,
it being something deliberately sort of involved. Because I
yeah,
feel like this is the last time everything that happened this week. I feel like that's the last time we're going to see
yeah,
Greg.
definitely.
So there's no
Yeah.
reason for him to really be involved with things. And even then,
Well,
he said that the kids lived two doors down from him, and that was his only connection to them.
well, this is what I was thinking actually, though, because I remember you saying, yeah, Rob was right again. Hashtag Rob's
I
sometimes
love how
right.
much I love
It's
how annoyed you are whenever I'm right about anything.
you're not doing I'm right as well.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah,
But
furious.
you because I remember when we first saw him, And I said, "Oh, I don't believe that he actually knew a kid." But then this week, I'm like, "No, he did, because why would he keep saying it? He obviously
Mm,
did know him.
yeah,
He's got no
yeah.
need to lie about it anymore." So that's the only way that he might come back, is if he does actually give Zoe some like information.
Mm.
I don't know, although why would he at this
I
stage?
feel
To be
like, yeah,
fair,
I feel like he doesn't know anything that helpful. I feel like the most he knows was that that's the kid, and that maybe the kid
yeah,
went abroad. I feel like that's all he really knows.
yeah, possibly,
But Stacey and Zoe go to the flat of Greg this week to sort of see whether she has actually killed anybody, and they very quickly, conveniently see him just leaving the flat. And Stacey decides, just right, I need to go gob off at that bloke, which I feel like was the worst possible idea that she could possibly have had, surely.
yeah. I was quite frustrated watching that. So like, Stacey's got more common sense
But what
into
are you
ringing
kicking
up
off
and
at?
doing that.
Like, I get it because they're sort of. I think Stacey's idea was right. So if he's the one that's waving the gun around, then I need to deal with him because my kids live on the square as well, and I don't want any of them being in danger. I think is the logic behind it. But it,
Yeah, I don't even think she knew that he. I don't even think she'd necessarily believed that he was the gun holder at that point, but she just thought he's a potential threat to my
yeah,
door. Like, he's
yeah.
some kind of threat in some way. So, yeah, I need to go and tell him, look, leave us alone. But yeah, she's so impulsive,
It wasn't
Stacey.
wise, really, was it? As it
No.
turned out, wasn't a
At,
wise thing to do.
at first thing she did was like, yeah, Zoe Slater, there you go, full name in case you'd
Yep,
forgotten it. There we go.
yep,
Available to go on www.google.com and find out any
indeed.
information that you want to find.
Also, he was sat there yelling at Zoe, "Where's my money? Where's my money?" I was like, "It's on the counter, mate. That's where she left it. It's still
She
on the
gave it
counter."
you. She ran
Yeah,
off with it. Yeah.
yeah.
She
She
gave
didn't run
it you,
off with
mate.
it. She left it there. She
Yeah,
left
and you
it
didn't give
there.
it. You've not. Where's her information?
Yeah. So if anything, you're the one in debt right now, not her.
Mm.
But he does locate her because obviously Freddie and Mo had done a big newspaper article about where Zoe lived, the fact that she was involved in the gunfire. So her location and general
Yeah,
information is available to all and sundry on the internet.
of
So he
course.
very quickly tracks her down to the Vic, and Stacey wants Zoe to report him to the police, so decides that Kat is the only person that can possibly persuade her to do that. They walk into the Vic and discover Greg with a knife around Kat's throat, which takes us into Thursday's episode. The Thursday's
Yes.
episode, by the way, I just want to say, as a whole, I thought was an excellent episode.
Yeah, I rated this. I don't know which part of it I rated. I don't know if it's because I enjoyed the conclusion to this storyline.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I've
what I
only
actually really enjoyed about it,
I
if I'm
think I just sort of
honest.
enjoyed it as a whole. Like
Yeah.
I love those episodes that are quite small in terms of cast and really
Yeah.
focused, set at night. One of those
Yeah.
sort of really
After dark.
after dark, one of those really sort of focused episodes are my
Yeah.
favorite in the show, and EastEnders does them better than any other soap. So it's nice when we get
Agreed.
those sorts of episodes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and the Greg thing is just a big old shit show, basically. Like he
Yeah.
is demanding money, and he very quickly kind of gets the idea that they're scared of him because of something he hasn't done. I think he works out quite
Yeah.
quickly, doesn't he?
So he uses that to his advantage,
Yeah.
because they say like, "Oh, you shot her," and he's like, "Yeah, well,
Yeah,
anyway,
I did that.
give me
Yeah,
all your
yeah,
money then."
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
very
yeah.
dangerous gunman, me. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I'll have
Not
tens of
brought the gun with me
thousands.
right now, but
No,
yeah.
but I could get hold of one
Well,
at any second if I wanted to, obviously.
hmm
Um, because I look like Neil Morrissey, so I'm a very, very dangerous
I
person.
know,
People
right?
do
You
as I
can't
say.
unsee it, can you?
Can't see
You
it
just
now. I
can't
really
unsee
can't,
it.
honestly. So yeah, he's basically demanding money, and they're giving him money out of the till, and then he realizes that they sort of like indicate that there's a safe upstairs. Cat tries to attack him with a butter knife, which I didn't think was her wisest ever move. And then Tommy
I
comes
understood that
downstairs.
though. It were better than nothing. I feel like it were a little safety blanket for her
What
somehow.
was she gonna do with him there? Because he had like a full-on butcher's knife or something, didn't
I
he?
know. Yeah, it did. I don't know. She
Like,
needed
what are you gonna,
something, bless her.
like, what are you gonna do? Spread me on toast? What are you gonna do with that, love?
I think she
Honestly.
bought some time though, because he was just about to go for Zoe. Had she not pulled something out and at least distracted him,
Yeah,
he might
yeah.
have gone in, to be fair.
Well, the
But
problem.
yeah, well,
Go on.
Tommy comes downstairs, doesn't
He
he? He's
does.
just about to leave and take the money from the till when Tommy comes down, which is when
Mhm.
Stacey's like, "We lied, there is a safe upstairs. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a safe. Like, let's take you up." And my first thought was, aren't the twins up there? When
yeah.
Stacey said that, why
Yeah,
aren't the
well, Kat
twins
says that
there?
to her. Kat says that to her
Yeah,
as well, and I think Stacey's thinking is well, we just could distract him with enough money and then he'll leave.
yeah.
By that point, though, Tommy's made a run for it, terrified, and
Hmm.
fortunately sees Jack and Ravi, who we'll discuss in a
Yeah,
moment, sort of in the square and tells them, and then I think the full police end up getting called
yeah,
and involved because Jack gives them a ring and everything, and then with Tommy, interestingly, by the end of the week with Joel. because he's giving Joel the impression that he was the one that put, kind of knocked Greg
Yeah.
unconscious. And Joel's all like, yes, bro, looking after your family, you're a proper man. When obviously
Man of the house,
man of the
eh?
house, when the truth is he ran away in tears.
Which is
So,
also fine, by the way,
of
to
course
run
it
away
is.
in tears.
And
That was a very scary situation for a
when there's a
15-year
bloke
old.
with a big knife, that's
Yeah.
probably quite a wise thing to do,
In fact, it was the
That's
best thing he could have done because he went and got help.
And let's not pretend, seeing as we have seen Joel in sort of aggressively confrontational situations, that he wouldn't have done exactly the same.
So true. So true.
So interesting, but I feel like the Joel and Tommy relationship is interesting. It's sort of like, where is Tommy's involvement in this all going to go? I don't think that Tommy believes in all this Drake Zager stuff, really, because when Kat confronted him with it, he was sort of like, it's evolution. So,
Yeah, he like you said before about like Joel having the intelligence, but he can debate it in his own way, can't he?
mm,
Whereas Tommy don't really get it. I don't feel he's just.
no.
I think. I think he's just desperate to have his mate, isn't he?
Mm.
Just so desperate to have his best friend. But then again, it's like, what do you even like about Joel? Because like his entire personality is all this Drake Sagan stuff.
Yeah,
So
he's absolute, and he's an absolutely
can't be that
vile human being.
enjoyable.
He's insulted all
Yeah.
your family to your face and has attacked women in front of you. Why do you want this?
Yeah.
Why do you want this kid in your life? It's really weird. So that's going on in the background. So I feel like
Yeah.
it's interesting to sort of see how that all sort of progress from there. Pausing the Greg stuff for a while and just sort of coming back to Ravi and Jack. Most
Mm.
of the week is them sort of like just sniping at each other because Ravi's still got the gun. Jack is apparently supposed to be giving him 100 grand. Denise has found out what's gone on. Um, and there's some interesting moments where Jack sort of like was asking her, why exactly did you choose me? Why did you choose me out of Ravi? And Denise is like, I don't know, if some public poll went on and I didn't really feel like I had much choice. Um, but there's some nice stuff between Denise and Jack this week. I thought like we're not the biggest fans of Denise and Jack, I don't think, but I feel like they did well with them this week.
I thought there was a really nice scene with Denise and Ravi this week, and
Denise
I
and
was,
Ravi, yeah,
yeah, I feel like she could just talk to him. She just gets
yeah,
him,
she
doesn't
gets
she?
him. Which is interesting. I feel like I don't mind, like if they're not going to put Denise and Ravi
Denise and
together.
Ravi.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting if they stick around that sort of vibe with Denise and Ravi, where it's sort of like they get each other.
She can appeal to him if
Yeah,
needs be.
because
I
it
don't think that she's going
worked.
to be. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be that involved with him though, unfortunately, afterwards. But I think the reason Jack said to her, "Why did you choose me over Ravi?" The point was supposed to be because your morals are better.
Mm.
That's why, which is why we were like, well, that's why you chose me over him, which is why I need to do the right thing and confess, even though Denise is like, well, yeah, you have got better morals, but maybe your morals shouldn't be that much better in this scenario. She was right.
She is right, but then
Well,
at the same time, I
well,
also
yeah.
sort of think, are his morals that much better,
Well,
Jack?
that is
Really?
very true, isn't it? He's just got, he's a corrupt police officer,
He's
let's be
Ben Copper.
honest.
He's a bent copper.
Other than when it suits him, like,
Yeah,
the whole Kojo thing, oh, I've got to report him for taking
he's not
drugs.
that moral. Come on, he's
Yeah,
really not.
innit? He
He's
picks and
really not.
chooses.
But then Jack does try to go all moral this week and say,
Yeah.
"No, do you know what? I need to tell the truth to Zoe. I can see how terrified she is. I need to sort of just hand myself in. That removes Ravi's ace card from the situation. Then we won't have
Yeah.
to give him 100 grand, and I'll just deal with the consequences." And
Yeah.
Denise is sort of like, "Well, that's a stupid idea because
Yeah.
you're going to rip this family apart. You're going to end up going to prison, and guess how much fun coppers have in prison."
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's why she then goes to Ravi to try
Yeah.
to appeal to him. And bizarrely, I thought it worked. I wasn't
It did
expecting it
work
to
though.
work. I wasn't
I
expecting it to work. I don't mind that it worked, but I didn't expect it.
I think it worked because at the end of the day, Ravi was just more bothered about himself going to prison. He's like, yeah, I'm not going back there. Been
Yeah.
there, done that, got the t-shirt. Yeah, fair. If Jack's on about doing that, then I need to end this. But the way that he went and waved the gun in Jack's face, what was that about?
Yeah, because he then said to her, I was only going to hand it over. It's like, what? Trigger, for,
Let's
like
wait,
gun
yeah.
first?
I mean, he weren't gonna, let's be honest. But why were he threatening him for it? I don't like the way Ravi is at the moment.
I
I'm
mean, I
gonna
thought it was
say
quite
it.
funny that like, when he started holding the gun out, Jack was like, and what are you going to do with that? Go on then, hard man.
Yeah,
Go on,
no.
shoot me here and now. Go on then. What are you going
Yeah.
to do?
It
I
was
know what you
done
mean.
though.
I know what you mean. It's Ravi is being written more as the villain at the moment than he is a sort of
Mm.
anti-hero. He's not
Yeah,
as
definitely.
he is definitely a bad guy at the moment, isn't he? Which, considering the sort of character he is, we are going to get eras like this with Ravi.
But this is it, like I've mentioned before, and I'll keep saying it, but the fact that he knows about all the Kojo stuff, I feel like we could have had Ravi doing all this drug dealing stuff, but him not being aware that they're using Kojo's
Mm,
flat. And if he'd have not known that, I feel like he wouldn't be as much of a villain.
mm,
All this stuff with Jack would be believable in the blackmailing. That I don't feel would make him too villainous. But the fact that he's knowingly let them do that to Kojo, then was starting to threaten George. Had it just been that it was Okie doing all that bit, I feel like
yeah.
he might not have been as much of a villain. So I'm not
Well,
enjoying his. But I do enjoy him being a villain at the same
yeah,
time.
I
But
think the thing is
yeah,
that now, and I feel like that's going to get worse from here because now he
mm,
hasn't got the 100 grand coming his way.
yeah,
He's going to push the drug stuff even harder, isn't he?
yeah,
Because
yeah, definitely.
unless he's literally just going to go home, because he can't. It's not like he can just go home and say to Priya, "Oh, we're not moving anyway. Sorry about that. I got that wrong." Because he's got these photos and someone's threatening the kids.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Oh
he is
yeah, I
gonna,
forgot about that. Yeah, you look at those photos
yeah.
again, weren't they? Which I
But
thought, why
then
you
that's
shredded them by now? What you staring
Yeah,
at
but then
photos
that
for?
is also happening within the drug storyline, isn't it? Because that's from
Yeah,
somebody higher up that's doing that to him. So,
but is that over now then? Because obviously, going back to what happened, they've set him up, haven't they? So is that problem resolved now, and those people are going
well,
to back off?
the gun stuff's
Yeah,
sorted, but at the same time, it's yeah, maybe I see what you mean. But then I'm also
yeah.
kind of intrigued as to who this was. Like, is this going to be revealed as something, or is it just going to be that things got a little bit dicey? So the boss stepped in, and now they've rectified that. So the
Do you
boss is going
think
to step away again.
the the boss is someone we know?
I
You think?
mean, it'd be
I've,
interesting.
do you,
Who?
well, I've seen theories
Have
online. I'm
you?
not
Go
going
on,
to
throw some
claim
theory.
them.
No, throw some theories at me. Go on, and then
Fat boy.
then we'll claim the best one. That's not the one we're claiming, right? Okay, carry on.
And Vincent.
I've seen Vincent a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, maybe Vincent
I
did
wouldn't
come
mind
in.
Vincent, but I don't know if Richard Blackwood's up for coming back. Is he still on Hollyoaks these
No, he's left.
days?
He left
Oh,
Hollyoaks
is
when
he
they did.
that?
Yeah, he's left
Oh,
Hollyoaks. He's
sir.
is it is. So
Is
he's it
it?
is.
We never,
So he
we never saw him, did we?
no, but Denise did. This is the
Denise
problem with
did.
I have the thing. Like Denise
And
literally
AI weren't a
saw.
thing then, were it?
No, it wasn't. And Denise
Mm,
literally saw him getting shot in the head. It's from the
true.
reaction. If you remember that scene where she watched that video, her reaction
Yeah.
was pretty visceral, wasn't it?
We
So
didn't see it there.
we didn't see it, but that's because you're not allowed to see
Could
people
have been
get shot
back
in
of
the
his
head.
head. Could have been
So
back of
what?
his
So it
head.
could have been anybody, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Essentially,
Maybe.
if they wanted to
I bet you
rewrite
could.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I bet there's ways that they could rewrite it
Yeah.
because we never saw the body. I get that completely.
They have
So
mentioned him a few times and all this
yeah,
beef that's going on with Howie and Kim and,
yeah.
her literally being like, oh, he's no Vincent.
Mm,
I
it's
wouldn't hate
possible.
it. I wouldn't mind saying no, he didn't die and just retconning what Denise saw. I wouldn't mind that too
Maybe.
much.
Maybe. We'll see. So once Tommy kind of runs out and sort of alerts Jack and Ravi to the situation, they basically burst into the Vic and save the day after Kat has whacked Greg around the head with like a bat or something and he's unconscious on the floor. Zoe says to Jack, he's the one that shot me, which makes a light bulb the size of something in Blackpool light up above Jack's head and goes, we could
Ravi's.
put the gun, yeah, and Rafi's. He's like, we could put the gun on him. That works
Yeah.
marvelously, doesn't it? So they plant the gun on Greg, and bish bash bosh, that problem solved. It would appear, which
Yeah.
does make sense. It did sort of feel quite logical the way it all
Yeah.
ended, because up to now the gun stuff's been nonsense. I think we've said, and
Yeah.
this sort of made it makes at least it ended in a sensible sort of way. I thought,
Yeah, I agree. It, like you said, probably the most logical part of the
yeah,
storyline. All done. We've had this nice little Zoe flashback, which is essentially what we're all for.
yeah,
And yeah, we can put it all to bed. Will the beef continue with Jack and Ravi, or will they just
yeah. How does their
get on
relationship
now?
go from here? Do we think?
Well, is Jack going to keep selling the flat? He's got no need now,
No, he's
surely.
got no need now whatsoever. He doesn't need the money now. Ravi's got nothing on him. They've put
Yeah.
all that's sorted. So now they seem to have kind of come to some sort of understanding between the two of them.
Or is Jack going to go, nah, I'm not letting this drop, Ravi, and then try and get him into trouble for the drug stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I
Is
feel like
what?
the next opportunity that Jack gets, he'll grab it with
Yeah.
both hands to sort of send Ravi down because
Yeah.
I don't think that there's actually ever going to be a time when he trusts Ravi and Denise together.
Oh, interesting. You think it's just because of that? Yeah, because Does Jack at this point know that Denise went and had a word with him?
Yeah, she does because Ravi
Oh yeah,
told him that
yeah,
Denise came and spoke to him,
yes.
and there was a sort of expression on his face where it's just like, "Oh, big surprise! Yeah, great." So I feel like there is that's
Mm,
still always going to be there, and I feel like it would always still be there because both of them actually are, they've both got egos, both their prides are hurt by the
mhm.
fact that Denise even went there in the first place from Jack's part, and the fact that she chose Jack from Ravi's part.
Yeah.
So I feel like those two are always going to have beef with one another.
Mm.
So it's
And
just
it
the next
wouldn't.
time it happens, I think.
It'd be kind of fair enough as well if Jack did go after him because they certainly like this wouldn't have ended otherwise. He was still trying to blackmail him, weren't they,
Yeah,
for like 100 grand?
yeah, yeah. So
Silliness.
so yeah, but this is what makes me think that this Ravi is going to have to sort of up the drug stuff because
Yeah.
I don't know if the boss has stepped down from the kids thing yet. I don't know if this solves it or whether that's
Or he
still
could
going to be
use it
going
to his
on.
advantage to get Ravi to do more as well,
Oh yeah,
potentially.
exactly. Yeah, so
Mm.
we'll see whether that's got anything to it. But also the fact that Priya was fully expecting them to be moving house soon. So how is he going to get out of
Oh
that?
yeah, of course. Yeah, he's promised that, hasn't he? And that he's
Yeah.
got money coming in as well. Yeah, definitely.
Mm. What opinion that? And basically, the end of the week ends. Kat and Zoe sort of everything's
Oh
fine.
yeah.
Greg has revealed at some point during the confrontation that Zoe's kids, or at least kid, is actually alive. So Kat realizes that she wants to find this kid, and she promises to help her. And
Yeah.
that will then what word am I looking for?
Propel?
Propel. That's the one. Propel us further into the weeks with looking for this kid. Now then, there is a new arrival coming to the show very
I've
soon. Have you
seen.
seen this?
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, spoiler siren,
Nino,
Nina,
Nino,
Nina,
Nino.
Nina. Jasmine will be arriving soon.
Yes.
Now
Jasmine.
then, if we are leaning towards Anthony being the dad,
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine would fit into that category, wouldn't she? She looks the
Yes,
right,
definitely.
she
She
looks the
looks,
right age.
yeah, she looks dual heritage,
She looks, yeah.
is the PC term these days
Thank you.
for it.
I was hoping you
I
were going
can
to
say
say it
that because
before.
I am dual
Yeah,
heritage
I
now.
was hoping you were going to say it because I couldn't remember what the right term was.
Yes, it's dual heritage,
Thank you
yes.
very much. So yeah, but then I also think that they know that we're going to be watching every new arrival like a hawk at this point.
Yeah, I did think that. Is it too
It
obvious? Is
seems a
it
bit too
is
obvious,
it a
doesn't
red
it?
herring?
I think
Yeah.
it is. I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced. I feel like like because this is the first new arrival we've had and like since this has all been revealed. So I feel like
Mhm.
the first person that arrived, we're gonna be like, it's her, it's her, it's her.
Yeah.
So they're gonna want us to think that, aren't they?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I did think that. Is that too obvious?
Mm.
But then
We haven't met her
sometimes is
yet,
it
so
that
we'll see.
obvious?
It seems at the
Okay.
moment her story is going to be with Oscar, so
Yes.
which in itself would be an interesting distraction technique, but I don't know.
Because we
I'm
know
not
there.
convinced.
I mean, who else is there? If it, let's say, it wasn't Anthony's child anyway,
Mm.
I can't think of any. Like, generally speaking, I can't think of any 19-year-olds on the square it could be. So we are to meet them. Maybe we won't. Maybe it won't be somebody we know. Maybe she's just going to go out and find them. But I feel
Maybe.
like one of them she might go out and just find, and then the other
Yeah.
one's going to be somebody that we know
Yeah, yeah,
of the
yeah,
twins. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. I
Mm.
feel like the one that she thinks is dead is going to be the one that she will reveal to be someone that we know. Because it was
Interesting.
the
So it'd
girl
have
that
to
she
be the
thought,
female then, yeah.
yes, the girl that she thought had died, wasn't it? And the son that
Yeah.
she knows is alive.
Yeah.
So she goes out and finds the son. The daughter will turn out to be someone that we know. And I'm not convinced it's going to turn out to be Jasmine, to be honest with you. Unless it does, in
Too
which case
obvious.
it's a bit obvious, isn't it?
Unless
So
unless Jasmine's gone to find her because she knows Zoe's name and she's seen the
maybe.
article online.
Maybe feels a
Bit
yeah,
like
you could be
Danielle and
right.
Ronnie, where Danielle
Yeah,
goes
this is what
and
I mean. It's a
yeah.
bit sort of similar to that, so I don't know whether they will repeat that because if so, Jasmine's dead soon.
God, that word, I hated that. I hated how quickly they killed Danielle off though.
Brutal, wasn't
I
it?
absolutely
Absolutely
hated it.
brutal. Yeah, and
Mm.
yeah, the thing is, and yet I rewatched that last episode fairly recently, and it's sort of like, do you know what? It was the only way it was ever going to end.
Well,
It
for Ronnie, of course it wasn't for
yeah,
Ronnie.
the tragic heroine that she was.
Literally.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see in the coming weeks what we think of
Mm.
where we're at with Jasmine when she arrives. But there we go. Gold star this week, Ray.
Julie.
I knew you were going to do it. Yeah, funny that, innit? If you're going for Julie, do you know who I'm going for this week? Is actually Vicky.
What?
Oh, because what we didn't mention this week is that Zoe and Vicky had some fights this
Oh
week.
yeah, of
Vicky was brilliant.
course.
Vicky was brilliant
Yeah,
this week. We'll just discuss that briefly as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Vicky just kicking off. This is just the Vicky we've come to know and love is that she will kick off at anything. And
God, she's so
Zoe
gobby,
is
isn't she?
she's so gobby. I think she's hilarious. And the thing is, so is Zoe. Zoe's gobby as well. So the
True,
pair of them
true.
together are going to be brilliant feuding
Yeah.
forwards, I think.
Well, do you think? I feel like eventually they're going to become kind of friends
I
though
don't
down the
know if they
line.
will, to be honest. I
You
feel
know,
like,
well, I mean, it'd be fair enough if they didn't. Oh, but is it a spoiler? Nino,
yes,
slight Nino. Sharon's
yes,
coming back very
she
soon.
is. I think she's back
So
next
she's
week.
gonna be, yeah, she's gonna be fuming with Zoe. So maybe
Yeah,
she's gonna have Vicky's back a bit.
yeah. So together, they ain't going to be forgiving Zoe for anything anytime soon.
But then Sharon and Kat are kind of made up. So maybe
I feel like
Kat can
that.
appeal to
Yeah,
Sharon. Sharon can appeal to Vicky
I feel
potentially.
like anybody going against Zoe at the minute is going to get Kat's wrath, to be honest. I feel like any sort
Exactly.
of mending that went on between Kat and Sharon will be out the window if she starts having a go at Zoe.
Yeah, true, true. Which she is gonna, surely.
Yeah, but yeah, brilliant scenes between Zoe and Vicky this week.
Vicky,
Really,
yeah.
really loved it. So yeah, Vicky for my gold star. Julie for yours, is it? How funny.
Yeah.
There we go. Let us know who your gold star is going to, and we shall finish the podcast as usual with some comments from you.
We've got a comment from Cassie Fletcher who says, finding it so difficult to be happy about Priya getting back together with Ravi when they've turned him into a really horrible person. It's hard to think that he wouldn't have some kind of conscience.
What do we think? I mean,
Yeah.
this is the interesting thing with the whole Ravi and Priya thing. Obviously, the choice was literally all about Priya, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think we've realised that
Mm,
love went over lust in terms of the Denise
yeah.
and Jack thing, but in terms of Priya, like it's interesting with Ravi and Priya because I feel like she would be appalled at everything that's gone on, but at the same
Yeah.
time, she's also one of these that would sort of get what Ravi was trying to do.
She
So I
knows
don't,
his ways because, like,
yeah, I don't
that's
think
how
it would
they
end their
met.
relation. I don't think it would end their relationship. She knows that Ravi's a bit
But
of a bad boy.
yeah, but I said this the other week when they first got back together and they had that scene of Priya saying, like, everything in my gut's telling me to run. And I was like, yeah, run.
Yeah,
If that's
yeah,
what your gut's telling you, get
yeah,
out because,
yeah,
like, he's in some dodgy stuff.
yeah,
Your kids are now involved. I kind of agree. This is
yeah.
why I don't like what they've done with him, though. He's going to have to do a lot of redeeming on Ravi after all of this.
Well, Sylvie DeRoches, if that's how you pronounce it, apologies if not, agrees with that and says, not liking how they've developed Ravi's character to be such a villain. A sexy one, but a villain nonetheless. I hate how they are involving Kojo into their dealings. Priya will be in for a deep shock when she finds out. Somebody else on
Mm,
Facebook, I'm struggling to, I did see it and I can't find it now, apologies, did also say that it depends on who this boss figure might turn out to be, whether that redeems Ravi slightly.
you reckon what's we're led to? Yeah, but we've not seen Ravi getting threatened at this point, though. He's done all of this off his own back so far, and I think that's enough to make him not a
Yeah,
nice guy at the minute.
yeah,
If we were led to believe that he has, like, whilst this is going on, if we'd been led to believe he's got someone really breathing down his neck, then
yeah.
yeah, it'd be a bit more understandable. But right now, we've not seen that,
I
so
mean, even, and I'm not saying that Joel is in any way defensible, but even when, he literally refused to let Joel have that money that he earned, yeah, we don't mind because it's Joel that he was doing it to.
yeah,
But at the same time, he was being an absolute dick then, wasn't he?
yeah. Well,
I mean, like I say, I know it's Joel, but at the same time,
yeah.
with
I know what you
anybody,
mean. Yeah,
yeah. So he is
yeah,
being a bully. He is being quite, and even the stuff with Jack, it's sort of like it's
yeah.
dodgy ground for
Because
Ravi at the minute.
mind you, though, the only thing with Jack, though, to be fair to Ravi,
Mm.
is that he did try and plant the gun on Ravi, didn't he? Which
Oh
is why
yeah,
he
like it was
then,
all reactionary in
turned
terms
it
of the
around.
Jack
Yeah,
stuff. Like the Jack stuff, I don't mind anything that Rav has been done
yeah,
whatsoever,
yeah,
really. But it's sort of like the way that he's making Harry's life so difficult and like being
yeah.
completely uncaring about what Kojo's having to deal
Mm,
with is sort of leaning into a case of, come on, Ruffy, like get a grip, mate. Like this isn't as
mm.
bad as you should be.
Oh
Groom.
my gosh, what
Oh,
if his
Reese had a
boss is
thought.
Nicola?
What?
What
Read
if his
what?
boss is actually Nicola? Nicola won't care about Kojo, surely. She even
Ah,
said to Harry, like, well, Kojo was one who flushed him in first place. Ravi's worked with Nicola. Would she double
yeah.
bluff Harry in this way so that she can be there for him?
I struggle to think that she would put Harry through all this knowing that she could stop it at any moment.
You reckon?
I feel like not. Maybe, but I feel like she wouldn't.
I mean, I'd hope not, but at the same time.
Are you adamant about that,
Possibility. I
Ree?
don't know.
Are you
I'm
adamant about that?
funny you should ask me that, Rob. We've got a
Yeah,
comment here from our YouTube from
yeah.
Ruchi Lex Omega. I don't think you guys should be adamant about anything. You guys were adamant Joel was Zoe's son.
Ooh.
Sorry. What were we
Oh, I
even
mean,
adamant about last week? We don't even know, do we?
I don't think we know when we're adamant about anything, to be honest with you.
You're right. Just to explain, though, if we say we're adamant about something, it
That
doesn't mean that we're
normally,
right. It's
yeah.
just that in that
It's just that
moment,
we,
it's
it's just that
something
we
that we're.
think we're right.
Yeah. I'm not saying we're always right, unless hashtag Ree's always right, and Rob was right a couple of times this week. But other
That's
than
an awkward
that,
hashtag to put all on Twitter. I won't lie
it
to you.
is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Adamant. Yeah, we were adamant about Joel, to be fair. I thought it seemed pretty obvious, but they led us down the garden path with that
No,
one,
but
didn't
well,
they?
we kept saying it, and then we kept umming and ahhing, and then we were like,
Mm,
yeah, but surely it's got to be.
yeah.
But anyway, do you know what?
I don't know
Right?
what we were adamant about last week, though.
No, I don't.
No,
But if we were adamant about the Joel thing, that is because Wadey steered us in that
you did.
direction. Come
Fair
on.
play. Fair play.
Mhm.
Chris Shaw has said, Ross, I know you're tired, but when your woman-hating son steals your partner's card, you should be dealing with it. I had a worrying feeling that Joel was going to attack Vicki when she got home from showing him up in front of his fellow incels. Yeah,
Oh
I mean, if
yeah.
yeah, I just the bad things are coming for Vicki. Bad things. I'm telling you now, it's not going to go well. It's going to get very
No,
dark
I
very quickly,
agree.
and it's worrying because it
Yeah.
doesn't feel that far away either.
No, because if Ross has just took this night job, because it's definitely gonna happen. They're in house on their own together.
Yeah, of course it is.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
not enjoying where this is going.
I mean, what was he saying to Julie? Like, I'm an alpha, and it's you. Because this is the thing, he didn't say half the stuff that he said to Vicky,
No.
to Julie, did he? Like, I think that Julie came out of there going, feeling like he was nowhere near as far down this rabbit hole as
Yeah.
as he actually is.
Yeah, because she were a bit like, well, these views have been around for ages. It's just they've got the internet now and they fall a bit down, a
Mm,
bit further down the rabbit hole. It's like,
mm,
it's a bit more than that. Is it again, though? Like I said, was I duped by Joel? Because I felt like that conversation was genuine, but then at the same time, like you're saying, I feel like he held back on saying some things. So then
mm,
it's like he knows what he can get away with and how he can manipulate the situation.
mm, for sure. Yeah, it's scary. Very, very scary.
And finally, we've got a comment from Karen Cowley who says, Louis didn't have to utter a single word, but yeah, he stole the show today. His reactions towards the so-called adults around him were priceless, quite like Julie today. Now that she's interacting with some of the other residents on the square, we are seeing a more empathetic side to her, along with a dash of humour. More scenes between her and Kat, please. I wouldn't mind at all if she were to stay on the canvas after Nigel is no longer part of this world. Just please don't have her take up with Phil. Exactly. The best way to honour Nigel's memory would be to have Julie and Phil grow to respect each other and form a friendship, nothing more.
What a lovely thought.
Yes, 100% agree with
Yes, I
that.
mean, I never said that
Yes.
I wanted Julie and Phil to happen. I'm just saying
I'm
that
pretty sure you were quite adamant about that, Rob,
I think you'll
actually.
find I was adamant of nothing. I wasn't adamant about it at all, but I'm adamant that I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I'm adamant
Mm,
it's not going to happen. So
well,
there we go. We've
there we
learned,
go.
haven't we?
Well, in which case, then one of us is wrongly adamant, and Rocco won't
Yeah.
like that.
Well, we need to stop, don't we, with these? No,
Stop
but
with
I
the
agree
adamants.
with this. I am enjoying seeing Julie outside of the Phil
Sorry.
and Nigel
So
thing now.
you enjoying Julie, are you?
I know, last
Enjoying
week I was
Julie.
adamant I didn't like you. Yeah, yeah, fair.
There you go.
See,
She is
that
mother.
was good with her and Kat as well. I quite like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Who else
yeah.
could she be friends with on the square? Her
Oh,
and
anyone she
Kathy, I
likes.
feel like.
Yeah,
Kathy, she could
yeah.
get
I'm
on
telling
with.
you, I think that they might be able to keep Julie around post Nigel. I think it might really, really
Yeah,
work.
there's
Yeah,
potential now. I can see it. Yeah, you
I
were
think so.
right, Rob. You were
Sorry,
right.
say it a bit louder. Say it with the ones at the back.
You were right.
Oh, that's
There
like
you go.
music to my ears. That's it. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do the following.
You can find us on Facebook at Albert Square After Dark, on Twitter and Instagram at E20 After Dark. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can listen to us on Apple and all your favourite podcast sites. Drop us an email at e20afterdarkpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to buy us coffee, you can do so by going on buymeacoffee.com/E20 After Dark.
Yes, you can indeed. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Remember, slightly later upload next week, but follow us on our socials and you will be aware of when that will be. Until then, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
See you then. Goodbye.